just the typical, how'd you spend your off season and how you feeling coming in the spring?
Feeling great. Typical off-season stuff for me, just with a baby involved now. Working out, hanging out, golfing, and being a dad. So, some good time off and ready to go.
What was your reaction when Walt was named the manager, and just what was your relationship like with him?
Yeah, I was excited for it. Obviously we're all familiar with him. Know the kind of guy that Walt is. Somebody who's, you watch the way he played. He, was a hard-nosed guy, and you'll see him in the gym, first one throwing up weight too, and it's good. He's got a good energy to him. We all know him and respect him, and I think everybody's pretty excited for it.
How do you evaluate where this clubhouse sits now? Because there's pieces that are a little old, but you also have a few new additions to the team as well.
Yeah, I think we're in a great spot. I think older means experience, which is vital in this game. We got a lot of guys who've done stuff, and that breeds confidence, and hopefully no one can go out there and do it. Leads to better results. Obviously not the year we wanted last year by any means, but I think we still got a lot of confidence with the dudes in here, and brought in a couple good pieces, and ready.
We all, people have always said, can this team get back to where it was in 2020? Because those numbers were incredible. But when you have a healthy Austin, a healthy Ronald, a healthy Ozzie, how good could this offense be?
Yeah, it's easy to make that kind of sound like an excuse and hide behind it, but those are big guys. Those are good players, and when they're not in the lineup, you got to move on, but you feel it a little bit. So health is going to be important. I mean, these guys are all the guys you've listed are guys with all-stars, guys with accolades, and I think when you got a lineup that's composed of a bunch of guys like that, then it's opposing pitchers, they feel that, and it makes it tough.
What's your reaction when you hear Acuña tell us that he doesn't feel 100%, he feels 200%? So what does that look like?
I'm kind of I'm the guy that is going to point out you can't be more than 100%. But he honestly looks great. The way he's moving around, he looks healthy. He's got some good energy to him. I think we're all excited that guy's back and 100%. But he's one of the handful of the best players in the game. There's no denying that. So having that guy in the field is huge.
What's the key to having that longevity? Obviously, your streak going on, just to stay on the field. What have you found is the key for you, and maybe your preparation or?
I kind of always look at it like the off season is big time to you come to spring, you're not going to be 100%, probably in a week, and you're not going to get back to 100%. It's just how the baseball season is. You got to find a way to kind of manage it. So. I think the off season, if you can kind of raise your 100% a little bit, then that helps out. Ton of luck involved with that too, and playing first base, I will always say, is a big part of the equation there. It's I'm not spending as much energy as these guys are in the outfield or shortstop or whatever it might be. I'm not stealing 70 bases. I'm not really the guy putting myself in harm's way that much, so I should be out there.
I want to ask you about something. You brought it up a minute ago. Chris brought it up when we talked to him earlier. What's the Walt in the weight room stories? I mean, what's that like? Do you have any good stories about that? Because both of you brought it up.
He just gets after it. I mean, he lifts more than anybody in here. It's insane. You see him in there. We're rolling in for the day to get going, and he's got 315 on the squat rack, just repping him out. It's kind of, it's funny that he said that too, but it's you feel that, he's somebody who's taking care of himself, wants to be better, and you kind of feel that.
How much did you know about Kyle Farmer? Because it was really interesting how he told us that you guys were kind of like players of the year or something at the same time in Georgia or something like that when he was at Georgia. So what's your relationship like with him?
Yeah, I've known him. We haven't gotten like too close because we haven't played together, but I spent a lot of time at Georgia in my off seasons in the minors. It's actually where I met my wife. I had a buddy who played on the team there, and I would just kind of go live my college experience a little bit and go hang out. But I came across Kyle a bunch, and clearly playing against him these however last few years. So Great dude. You know, I've heard nothing but good things about him and his family, and you know, you see the kind of positions that he can play. That's important for a team. Somebody who can kind of mix around, somebody who knows is going to work hard and can take a pro at bat, play in multiple positions, and be a good guy on top of that. So a really good ad.
Matt, over given the injury bug that's bit the team the last couple of years, how much do you look at what you've been able to do in your availability as an accomplishment? How much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, you know, kind of what I was saying earlier. I just, you know, I'm not spending a lot of energy. You know, I can get hit by a pitch at any given moment and be out for weeks or whatever. But you know, I think everybody feels this way. If you're here and you're able, you should be on the field. You owe it to everybody. It's one of the things that I love about being here is that tone was set 20, 30 years ago. You know, it's not something new that we're doing here. And you know, you see teams mix it around a lot, matchups, platoons. I like that. You know, we'll have one or two maybe, but you show up to the field, you know who's in the lineup that day, and I think that, you know, builds a little chemistry and gets into a little rhythm of the season that you just can't match.
Longest offseason since you've been here, since you guys didn't make the postseason last year. Obviously, the goal is to get back there this year. What did you kind of work on? Did you have some more time to be able to really evaluate some of the things you could improve on, knowing you had extra time to do so?
Yeah, I mean, you know, every offseason you kind of go and dig in, see where you could kind of improve. I wouldn't say I had any epiphanies, you know. I think it's as a ball player, you know, it's my almost 15th year of pro ball. Kind of just go and fine tune and see where you can get better, and you know, it's going to be an every year kind of thing.
Where did you fine tune? Was anything small? We love the small details.
Nah, I mean, you know, just always looking at swing stuff, see where you get better. For me, like, you know, if you really want to dig deep, just kind of like body position kind of stuff, like landing in a good spot is kind of, you know, the thing that I was focusing on most. You know, good 50-50 positions is what I'd say.
There's been a lot of emphasis of making sure that this team comes out kind of with a faster, better start after the way last year. So what is the key coming out of spring to make sure that you're able to have a better start?
I mean, there's no magic pill. You know, there's no magic answer. There's no golden ticket. Obviously, a terrible start last year, 0-7. You know, it's a sour taste, but you know, you can't dwell on it too much. It's not like, you know, we can say, hey, let's try harder to win a game. It's not how it goes. You know, we had a tough road trip to start, a couple good teams, but yeah, we were definitely hoping to get the things rolling a little earlier.